Right, well, and so it begins. A new hobby, let's say, radio-controlled Tamiya lorry kits. I've watched various videos on YouTube before, so I thought, right, I'm going to buy one and start one. So, this weekend, I'm going to bash through it. Shout out to Elite Models Model World Sittingbourne when we went down there to visit a radio-controlled drift site. We popped in there and then ended up getting the kit from them. So, I've been shopping. I've got a mat to do it on. I've got some tweezers. I've got some Tamiya cement. I've got some JIS screwdrivers. And I've also got some bearings from RC Bearings, because apparently the ones that come with the kit aren't much cop, so you're better off getting aftermarket ones, which I've got. So, we shall unbox it and begin. Right, so in the box, you get all the gear, all the plastic parts, decals, tyres, various bits and pieces. There's some extra bits in here that I bought when I got it, like the electronic speed controller, some servos, and a couple of other bits and pieces. I haven't gone for an MFC, multifunction control unit, I think it is, that does sound and lights and stuff yet. I'm just going to build this one basic and then maybe progress from there. But looking at the manuals, it tells you what parts you need, A1 to 7, and obviously directions as we go. So I will look for A1 to 7. Right, I've laid all the parts out in order. Now, all the little packs are numbered and lettered. So if I just take this one, where is it on here? Top left. Don't know if you can see it because of the light, but it says R, and then each individual part is numbered, like 7, 8, 6. So I presume we're going to go through an order in the book. Now, I haven't got an A, but I've got that bag. I've got B and a parts bag B, and then BA, BB, BC, C parts, C, etc. So, now they're all laid out, I'm going to put them back in separate boxes so I know what's what. So if I need to find anything, I should be able to locate it as I go. Right, I've put all my screw bags into these plastic tubs and labelled them all with the label from the bag. So we should be all right with there. I've got A out on the go. So I haven't got any batteries for my controller. So at the minute, I can't do the servos, but I will come back to that. I can start putting the rails and stuff together. I can bolt the servos in place. I just need to center them before I put all the fittings and that on. So they are en route, I believe, so that'll be all right. I'll get started. Right, well, it's pretty much an hour after I started and I've got the first bit screwed on. All the bits are organised, all the parts are in boxes. So yeah, so we're an hour in, one bit's done. This is going to take some time. I think I'll just come back to you when I've got like a bulk of a few bits done. That'll probably be more sensible. Right, 2 hours in, we've done the chassis rail, well, not done the complete chassis rails, but we've done section 3 of the chassis rails. Obviously, there was about an hour setting up, so it's taken about an hour to do them. Obviously, this is my first kit, so I'm sure I'll get quicker, but just wanted to make sure. So now on to step 4. Right, that's section 4 done. Those bits there. I couldn't find the parts labelled Q. That's because they've been double bagged with other bits. So when I put them in alphabetical order, I should have taken them all out the bags and done it, but never mind. We found them in the end. So next, section 5, putting the chassis rails together, but I need to put the servos in. But I'll see whether I can do it without putting the servos in. I'm sure I can. I'll make a start and come back when this one's done. All right, back for another little update. Done number 5 and number 6. So the chassis rails are together. and the steering parts are also done. So it's not going too bad. What am I in now? 3.5 hours so far, including the hour setting up. So, right, moving on. Right, so a bit further on, got this page done. Got the servo and steering bolted in on the side there. And got the axle built up and fitted. So we now have working suspension. Now, chaps on the forum have told me to move the steering servo to the front. I think for now, as it's my first one, I'm just going to build it by the manual, and then maybe in the future change things up a bit, but there we go. Next bit. Right, well, she has all the axles on, front and rear. Drive lines in on the back there. So it's almost a rolling chassis. The next bit is the transmission. And apparently this you've got to really concentrate on, so that's my next task. What's the time now? It's now 4:45. I started today about 11. So I've had 4 or 5 hours on it to get from where I was yesterday to where I am now. But task now is to get the gearbox built. Right, well, I've got the gearbox made up. All moves freely, so hopefully that is correct. I've got to grease them all up yet, but there you go. So that's all built. So next part of the instructions, I'll see what's going on now. Right, the motor and gearbox are in. All in its case and all bolted down. Don't do what I did and bolt all the motor in and forget you've got to put the drive shaft in. So let's take it back out to get the drive shaft in it. So that's that. I know everyone's going to say, oh, you've got to change that motor. I can't use a standard motor, but this is a standard build for the first one. I can always modify it later or get a different motor for the next truck, because there's going to be more, isn't there? Let's face it. So I'm just building this one as standard. So yeah, so the motor and gearbox is all in. So the next step is what looks like the fifth wheel. So I'll get on with that. Right, so a bit further along, we now have the fifth wheel mounted. We've got the battery tray mounted, but my Traxxas batteries don't fit. They're slightly too long. So we're either going to have to modify that or change batteries. I want to try and use them if I can. Got the mud guards on, and we're now going on to fitting the speed controller and the tanks and things like that. So I will come back shortly when they're done. Okay, further progress. The fifth wheel release is on. I know you can get an automated one, so again, that's maybe something for the future. The electronic speed controller's in. The button is supposed to go in here, but mine isn't a screw-on one, so I'm going to leave that for now and work out where I can put it afterwards, whether I have to drill a hole for it or stick it on the side or something, I don't know. So that's in. Next, we're on to, that's done, building the rear mud flaps and tail lights. Now, I haven't got any LEDs for those at the moment because I decided not to, but we'll put it together as is for the moment. Well, she's rolling. Started putting body bits on. Now I know it's in the white plastic, but I'm doing a dry build before I paint it. If I paint it, because to be honest, I was going white anyway, so if it looks all right as it is, save me some money and a job. So yeah, now on to building the cab. I thought I was more than halfway through, but as there's staples in the middle of the pages, I'm clearly only halfway through. So I'll get on with the cab. And there we have the cab all together. Again, in the white plastic, not painted yet. Doing a dry build first. But yeah, it's all together. So now it's talking about the hinges and the interior. So I'll see how far I'm going to go with that yet. And there we are. The dry build is done. Yeah, got to do the inside yet. Got to do the wiring, etc. And the interior's there. It's obviously all got to be painted if it's going in. I don't know whether to paint it. I mean, it's clearly in its unfinished plastic finish, but I wanted white. And to be fair, it's fairly glossy. And with the mesh in, obviously I haven't put it in yet because I was talking about painting it, but the mesh could go in, the stickers could go on, and to be fair, I reckon that'd be all right. It'd probably look better than me doing a terrible attempt at painting it. But yeah, so got the electrics to go. I've also got to modify the controller because it's a flight one. So this stick stays where it's got to be. So I've got to take that apart and put the spring in so it flicks back to the middle. But for today, we are done. So the time is now 20 to 5. I started at 11, stopped for lunch. So another 5 hours today, let's say. So it's 17 hours all in so far. Very enjoyable, actually. This video is how to put a return spring on the Microzone MC10. This is obviously mainly used for flight. So this has no return spring back to forth. Obviously does left to right. This one on this side does. So this is how to take it apart because I couldn't see any instructions on the Tinternet. There are 5 screws on the back. There is one in the centre of the back, and then you've got to pop these off the side to get to the rest of them. So the rest of the screws, there you go, one there, one there. I've taken those out already, obviously undone them. And then under here, you've got 2 more. So when you undo them, you'll lift the back out, which I'll show you now. And there you go, that is with the back off. Got to be careful not to touch too much. And then that is the return spring. Now, looking at this one, which has got the spring in it, there and there, left and right, up and down. Oh, there you go, up and down on this one. It's this one we need to put it into. And it hasn't got the one like that one has on this side. So we've got to fit that to return that to centre. So let's open the packet, which is there, and then see how it goes together. Okay, so from looking at the bits we've got here, I can see this little bit that comes with a kit sits in there like that, which matches over here, there. And then this bit needs to go under that and pivot with the spring attached to this end, the same as this one. So I just got to see how that goes in as to whether I've got to take all this out or whether this just slips in, but I can't do it with one hand. So I'll put it in and I will show you how I did it in a minute. Right, well, I've got it fitted in. It was in there fine. It did absolutely nothing. So I rang the shop where I got it from and they said, oh yeah, you've probably got a file out the middle. So it brings the pivot point, hang on, where's my finger? There, oh, you won't be able to see. Basically, I've got to file this out so it comes down here somewhere. So then this sits further or closer to these pins that are sticking out. These pins here, because there. Because that's what it sits on, and it sits under this radial part. So obviously if this is cut out more, then that will raise the bit up and it'll actually touch the pins, which it doesn't at the moment. So I don't know how strong it's going to be once I've filed all that out, because I've probably got to take 5mm out and there's probably only 8 or 9mm there. We'll see. Right, so I filed it out and refitted it. Now I'm still having problems, or I was still having problems, but I've now sussed it. So I'll try and do this while holding the camera. While flicking it, as you can see, it's not returning to centre. That's centre, that's not. So this is very strange. I lubed up the little pins where it spins. No, it didn't help. Then I don't know how I saw it because it was shining me right in the face, like it is now. A big silver thing. This one doesn't have this bit. Undo this. So So this obviously has to be removed. There we go. Returns to center. Problem solved. So that's how you do it. Right, so there it is. It's built, it's done, it's been tested. It's not finished. It's never going to be finished. So thanks for watching. I know I quickly went through it all. I didn't really give much detailed build stuff. I mean, if there's interest in that, there are already more kits on order. So I can go deeper into it. Obviously, it takes a long time. So it depends how I edit it up or how much you want to see. So if you like this sort of stuff, there's, as I say, more Tamiya kits ordered. There's other kits ordered, not Tamiya. And there's more to come. I'm being careful what I say because my missus might watch this. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. And I'll see you soon in another video. Cheers, guys.